Alrighty guys, just Sunstrider here. It has been a long time since I did one of these videos because god damn it took me forever to upload the fucking Unholy Alliance playthrough. God! Anyway, you guys read the title. It's time for a new pre-campaign setup, but before we get into it, a couple notes about the Unholy Alliance playthrough. Was it really what I wanted it to be? By that I mean fucking Xcom and Exalt barely working together. I mean, I could have went a little bit more all out with the RP, but definitely towards the end of the campaign I just said fuck it. And I mean, you don't have to worry about the two sides healing each other if they barely get wounded, I guess. And towards the end of the campaign, my character was normally on the fucking mission anyway, so yeah. Definitely, definitely didn't go all out in the RP that I wanted to, but at the end of the day, the Unholy Alliance was more or less just give Exalt a little bit more light, a little bit more screen time, right? And in that respect, the campaign was a success. When you get down into the nitty-gritty details, maybe not so much, but whatever, right? Anyway, moving on. When one campaign falls, another must rise to take its place, and it's time to do some more for the chosen Civil War. A better Civil War, to be exact. We are revisiting this campaign. I already had this set up a long time ago. I did some tweaking to the mods here and there, but that's why I do testing beforehand, so I can change the mod list as I want to. For example, I had the Marauder Raider faction, AI to AI activations, and all the Custodian stuff installed. But I decided against the AI to AI activations and Raider faction mod because those are Raider faction mods for a Raiders World playthrough. I think I'm just gonna keep it in the Xcom versus Advent realm. No Raider factions, not even mocks. But in this case, it'll be Advent versus Advent. And before I go any further, last Civil War playthrough, I kinda allowed human soldiers to still roam around, but they had to use Advent weapons and Advent armor. That's not the case this time. I'm going to put a bigger focus on the Advent side of the Advent Civil War. That means no human soldiers, no exceptions. The only humans that will be left in the game is the crew of the Avenger and the civilians in city centers and retaliation missions. And even the crew of the Avenger gets a little facelift, right? 'Cause by the way, the only reason why I'm keeping all of these cosmetic mods is because I don't feel like resubscribing to them later on. That's literally the only reason. Where is it? They even get a little bit of a facelift with the Advent crew replacer. Bradford, Shen, and Tygan get evil Advent variants of their uniforms, engineers get the stasis suit, and scientists get red lab coats. I don't 100% agree with the engineers using the stasis suit, because the stasis suit seems to be like a major story element that should stay within the story personally, but I'm just gonna suck it up and we're still gonna use it anyway. So yeah, and everybody else, skirmishers, normal advent defectors, alien defectors, and wibbles. Even the resistance soldiers on Haven assault missions have been replaced with skirmisher troopers and skirmisher officers. The civilians are the only thing I can't change. So, yeah, I'm putting a bigger emphasis on the advent here. That means no human soldiers, no exceptions. And to that end, I've decided to close the character pool to requests this campaign. I already have a character pool full of advent skirmishers and even some mech troopers to take the place of our sparks. Right? The pool is closed. Sorry to disappoint, but I've made my choice. Alright? And you know, I've been thinking about just pre-recording this campaign, right? Because if I stream the campaign, everybody who jumps into the stream will be like, "Oh, can I have a character?" And it's like, and I'll be like, "Character pool's closed," and then they'll get all fussy and probably leave. But I don't know. I'm still on the fence about that. But yeah, no character requests this time, please. They will reopen next campaign. I'll do another Raiders World campaign after this one, and that's when I'll reopen stuff. Now, hopefully I didn't scare you all away by saying the character pool is closed. Moving on to enemies. All of the normal enemies are still in the game. Pathfinders, the Mass Effect enemies, Purifier revamp, General revamp. I also got the Priest revamp that makes them a little bit more scary, as if they weren't scary enough. And I got two major changes. Three major changes. First of all, I'm not using the Hive mod anymore. Fuck the Hive mod. Crystal Chameleons can go suck my fat cock. Those things are super annoying. Besides, half the time they end up being feral anyway, which fits more of a Raider faction. Second thing, Custodians. I said that I got rid of the standalone mods, but this also happened. All of the Custodian mods and the auto shotgun and the battlesuit mods all of these mods got included into this mod. So we still have to fight these scary motherfuckers, but I mean, it's a pack, right? They all go together, you know. So we got the Purge Priests, the Pathfinders, and the Custodians. There's also been a few minor tweaks as well. As you can see, there are more Custodians. There are more Custodians here, right? They get like a Mark II version, and I think yeah, there are different variants. They're pretty much just different variants. A little bit more variety with the Custodians. And then, of course, the battlesuit as well for Xcom. And the thing is that we get the battlesuit from doing the Custodian autopsies. So that's how it all kind of ties in together. It's midnight where I'm at. So, yeah, that's very interesting. And another thing, there are these guys called Advent Couriers who spawn via set reps in the game, and they have Custodian bodyguards. And I think they just, like, carry around supplies, right? The couriers, right? They have, like, supplies or something, and if we kill them, we get the supplies. But we have to fight a bunch of Custodians, too, which, I'm also using a better campaign plus, which increases pod sizes, and in my testing, that also increases the bodyguard pod sizes, so I'm scared. Suffering is fun, screaming. Indeed. Another thing is we got these Muton Hunter boys. And they're pretty much Muton snipers, right? Mutons can be snipers too. I'm not a huge fan of the over-the-top weapon effects right? Because it's like a big plasma explosion when it's a single shot, and that only deals like damage to a single soldier and stuff. I think the particle effects are a little bit overdone, but it's still a very cool mod nonetheless, and you'll get to see him too once we get into it. Yeah, see, tone down the visual effects. Yeah. Oh well. And pretty much that's it. Very simple campaign, recreating a old campaign. Right, one other thing. In terms of classes, I'm not using a class pack, so we still got the 4 vanilla classes. Skirmishers and the Liberated are the only two hero factions that are going to be contacted. And in terms of modded classes, we're bringing back the Biotic class. You know, in my personal opinion, it's one of the best balanced, most fun classes to use in terms of balance compared to gameplay. The Officer class, obviously, because it fits this perfectly. I used it during the Galaxy of War mod when we did a Star Wars theme. And I mean, it works very well here, so we're using it again. The new class that we're using is not so much new to the workshop, but new to me. We're using a Shock Trooper class, which they can use shotguns, assault rifles, but they don't have a secondary weapon. They trade their secondary weapon for increased mobility, and I think they start with one running gun. Either that or that's their squaddy rank ability. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds during my testing. They seem pretty good, but we'll see how they handle in the long run. So yeah, hopefully you guys will still watch this campaign even with the closed character pool, but whether or not you stick around for it or you wait to the next campaign, that's going to be it for me. Thank you all for watching. Here's just the music I was having in the background in case anybody is interested. And I'll see you next time. I'm out.